Hello, my friends. I just want to take a few seconds to thank you for the support you have given to the channel in the last few months. We have reached 10,000 subscribers a few days ago. Despite my weird way to talk and my not too exciting narration, there are many people who like the content, so thank you very much for watching the videos, share them, and for your comments, both supportive and critical. Both are very important to improve the content of the channel. A channel that I started as a kind of hobby and to improve my skills in editing programs for my daily work, and now has gathered more people than I could have imagined before, which makes me very happy. Again, thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy this new video. See you next time, my friends.
Exterminator 17 is a science fiction comic created by screenwriter Jean-Pierre Dionnet and illustrated by Enki Bilal. The story is about robot warriors known as Exterminators that are scattered across the galaxy in a host of deadly environments, fighting for their human masters until the creator of these mechanical killers finds his soul trapped in one of those robots. One of the minds behind Exterminator 17 is Jean-Pierre Dionnet, who was born in 1947 in Paris. He spent his childhood in a boarding school, which among other things led him to read comics extensively. Once he began his university studies, which he combined with a job as a clerk in a bookstore, he began his activity as a writer and columnist. In 1968, he joined the magazine Pilote, where he wrote scripts for Jean Solé, Philippe Droulet, Mobius, Annie Gotzinger, and Enki Bilal. In 1974, he joined artists Philippe Droulet, Mobius, and financial director Bernard Farkas to found Humanoid Associates, from which the magazine Metal Heartland was born, a new magazine that would mark a before and after in the history of comics. Dionnet remained as an editor-in-chief of the magazine until 1985. It was in the pages of that publication that Exterminator 17 originally appeared in serialized form in 1978, which he developed together with the Yugoslavian artist Enki Bilal, with whom he had worked before when he was at Pilote. Dionnet elaborates a story that under the action, adventures, and suggestive images drawn by Bilal's pencil hide a pacifist reflection in which a multitude of themes, not only from science fiction but also from universal thought, slavery and the struggle for freedom, war, the corruption of power, the figure of the Messiah, and the right of living beings. On the other hand, Bilal's futuristic conception is as characteristic as it is disturbing. His ships, buildings, even clothes have a clear organic aesthetic, and everything from the people with worn faces with cybernetic implants and exhausted look to the vehicles, machinery, and buildings that look dented, worn by use and with rust drippings, speaks to us of a decadent, crepuscular, tired civilization. In Bilal's art of that time, the influence of Mobius' style is still evident, but he was already beginning to show his particular and personal style that will continue to advance and evolve in his future works. The story mixes Asimov-style concepts with a certain cyberpunk aesthetic where humanity has conquered the stars and they used robots to fight their battles. Set in the space opera convention with elements of humor, the comic tells the story of Exterminator 17, a robot space warrior. The consortium uses in its commercial wars an army of androids known as Exterminators. Among them There are more modern and more ancient models, but they have all been created by a single person, the Agent Master. During one of these battles, the Master watched on a monitor the first android he designed, Model 17, built from his own cells and which would serve to develop the other advanced versions. As soon as the commercial alliance is signed, the androids are disconnected and abandoned on the planet like scrap metal. The Master, regretting the end to which his robots had been destined, dies, but not before transferring his consciousness to the body of his first android. His intention, like a modern Spartacus, is to go out into space to free the other robots. The other machines acclaim him as their leader and treat him as a messiah. But his move has not gone unnoticed by the rulers of the consortium, who hire the mystical and fanatical Neo-Manicheans to eliminate Exterminator 17 before the androids learn that there is an alternative to death and rebellion. And as if that weren't enough, other elements, supposed friends, will try to take advantage of him as well. It was somewhat confusing to read this work in a row because as it was done in part, there were very big jumps between the end of one and the beginning of another. Today you can find the whole story compiled in a single volume. Dionnet would return to the character and universe of Exterminator 17 in 2003 in 3 albums, drawn by Igor Baranko. Exterminator 17 is a short but intense story, containing everything a science fiction masterpiece should have. As usual, in many stories that were born in the pages of Metal Hurlant, this science fiction piece explores ideas and concepts that are still seen in countless books and movies of today. The duo Bilal Dionnet managed to materialize an original and intelligent graphic novel where both showed their great knowledge of science fiction, society, and the human condition, with androids that try to transcend the purpose for which they were created.